The next adventure for Batman begins in Batman number 2, with a cover date of July 19th, 1940. This is the first of 4 stories that make up Batman number 2, and is a benchmark for me as this is the 20th Bat Bits episode. Things are calm in New York for Dick and Bruce, so they're enjoying a game of chess. After a short game, Bruce wins, and golly gee willikers, Dick is bored and itching for some action. Little did he realize they would soon be playing a game of chess, but this time with human pawns. The next morning, a newsie is screaming out Wuxtree for some reason, but the information in the paper is what's important. The Joker, one of Batman's fiercest enemies, is still alive. Note, Wuxtree was an alternative form of extra, the cry of a newspaper seller. How stupid. The news of Joker being alive moves Batman into swift action. His plan is to abduct the Joker before he becomes stronger and take him to a brain specialist for an operation to cure him so he can become a productive member of society. A group called the Crime Syndicate are wondering what to do after the death of their leader, the Chief. Weasel, a loyal mobster to the Chief, sees the paper and has a brilliant idea. They'll bust the Joker out of the hospital and he can become their new leader, and they can make the Pharaohs haul in a cinch. Weasel has a plan to get the Joker out that will grow hair on your head, which is great because he is bald. The die is cast and the Crime Syndicate will now have a new ruthless leader. What is the connection between the priceless Pharaohs' gems and Weasel's plan to abduct the Joker? The Crime Syndicate gets past the police and into the hospital after a nice old lady offers them some chewing gum for some reason. They stick up the doctors and tell them to play nice and no one will get hurt. One of the docs tells them to leave immediately or they will call the police. That doesn't sit well with Weasel, so he pistol whips the man and a giant rumble breaks out. Gangsters and doctors fight while patients look on scared out of their minds. The Syndicate gains the upper hand and ties up the remaining doctors. Weasel tells some of the men to guard the ward. The rest are coming with him to the operating room. Inside the operating room, the doctors at gunpoint get to work on the Joker, Weasel telling them if the surgery is not a success, they're dead. Time ticks by and it's finally over. The operation was successful. Outside the hospital, the police have the building on lockdown, but are unaware of what's happening inside. Commissioner Gordon is talking to one of his men when a couple of pebbles hit them in the head. They look up and the Batman is on the roof of the building. Gordon shouts out tactical strategies to his men to trap the Batman. He won't get away this time. The officers get to the roof, and that's when the Batman leaps into action. The men are no match for Batman, one getting knocked out, and the men climbing up the fire escape get kicked off to their death. One of the cops on the ground is shaken up and doesn't know what he's going to say to their families. Gordon doesn't seem to care and is perplexed by Batman's actions. He's never attacked the police, except for all those times he has. The other men close in on the Batman, but he jumps off the roof and lands in an already running car below. The police take off and the chase is on. The cops are gaining ground on the Batman. Batman tries to turn off the road, but it's too sharp of a turn, and he crashes into a tree, and he narrowly escapes as the car explodes into a raging inferno. Running to a nearby barn, he barricades the door. The cops show up and start a battering ram to get the door open. After many attempts, they get the door open, but are met by haystacks that are ablaze and a Batman wielding a pitchfork. Batman throws the pitchfork right into the chest of one of the men, killing him instantly. He grabs onto a rope and smashes into a line of blue coats. They give chase up some stairs and Batman makes a desperate leap onto a horse and starts to gallop away. The cops turn and start raining lead from their guns into the back of Batman. He is hit many times and goes down. Is this the end of the Caped Crusader? Gordon is ready to see who Batman really is, but when he takes off the mask it reveals a con man named Circus Charlie who had only escaped a couple months ago. This can't be the Batman, but it does explain why he wasn't hesitant on killing cops. A flash of thought comes over Gordon. This was a setup to get them away from the hospital, and it worked. Back at the hospital, Weasel's men load Joker into the car, passing the old gum saleswoman from earlier. She goes behind the building and takes off a mask and makeup. That was no old lady. It was the thief named the Cat. Before she has a chance to do anything, Batman appears behind her. The real Batman, and he sweeps her off her feet. In the Almost Mobile, Batman questions the Cat. They strike a deal that he will let her go if she tells him everything she knows about the Syndicate's plans for the Joker. They're hiding the Joker on a medical airplane until he recovers. The police will never think to search the skies. Then they'll be hiding out at Weasel's hunting lodge when he does recover. They drop the cat off as promised, but have a feeling they'll be seeing her again soon. Batman lines the floor of his car with a radioactive substance so Robin will track her, while Batman waits at Weasel's Lodge for the Joker and the Syndicate. Back at the Syndicate's hideout, the gang finds out that no one can trust the Joker. After the Syndicate's scheme to kill E.S. Arthur and steal the Pharaohs' gems, the Joker doesn't plan on letting the gang reap any of the rewards as he has drugged them all with a sleeping potion. They'll be out shortly. Weasel flips out and pulls his gun on the Joker with the intent to kill him. Batman bursts into the hideout, ready for a fight. The drugged men point their guns at the Joker, but laughingly he tells them not to bother. He took the powder out of the bullets. A fight ensues, and it's a perfect distraction for the Joker to get away and go for the Pharaoh's gems himself. Meanwhile, the cat, who had been working on getting close to Arthur, enough to get invited to his castle, arrives, and Arthur has been dead for a while now, so she has nothing standing in her way of getting the Pharaoh's gems. Except the Joker arrives, gun in hand, telling her to hand over the jewels, or she dies. Robin swings in just in time to stop the Joker from killing the cat. He's been trailing her since the Batman dropped her off earlier. He lands on Joker's shoulders, and they square off for the rematch Robin has been waiting for. He gets the upper hand on the Joker with a right cross that lands the Psycho up against the wall. Joker grabs a mace and clubs Robin over the head, knocking him out. He prepares a needle of the Joker toxin to kill the Boy Wonder, but the cat steps in and says she will give the Joker the jewel if she spares his life. Just before Joker is about to do the worst, Batman comes in to even the playing field. Swinging on a chandelier, Batman drop-kicks the still recovering Joker. There's 2 swords on the wall, so Batman challenges the Joker to a duel. The men continue their duel throughout the castle. Batman may have bit off more than he can chew. The Joker is pretty good with a sword and corners Batman to a balcony. With no room left to move, Batman gets up on the edge, and the Joker overpowers him, and Batman slips off the balcony, falling towards his death. But luckily he grabs some vines growing up the sides of the castle walls. He has to get back up there so the Joker doesn't do anything crazy to Robin or the cat. Joker tries to get back into the room, but the cat has barricaded the door, so Joker uses some flaming arrows to burn his way in. With a renewed wind, Batman climbs up the vines and tackles the shocked Joker, punches him in the face, knocking him out. Batman grabs the wounded Robin and the cat out of the room and away from the flames. They get to the ladder of the hovering Batplane, and as soon as they get far enough away from the castle, the cat jumps from the ladder and dives into the water. Is this the end of the cat and the Joker? Robin says the cat got away with the jewel cask, and Batman tells him, yes, you're correct, but only the cask. I managed to swipe the jewel out of the cask before they escaped the burning castle. Au revoir, Catwoman.